Hello, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the Zen music there. Hello, Banks from Nova Scotia. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, guys, how's your week been? It's been brutal. The news is coming fast. Fast and furious now, isn't it? So we got a packed show tonight. By show, I just mean like me talking based on stuff I've collected all week. But yes, we're going to talk about all of the crazy that is happening right now. I was just making sure that everything was okay on here on what is that? D-Live. So anyways, okay, looks like everything is good on D-Live, so that's good. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the full-blown panic that the world leaders are in at this point. And we are here to try to make light of it. Yeah, point fire. To your point, nothing is okay. Let me see. See, this question here, is anything okay? I don't think so. But we're not all in on this together, and I think maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's not a bad plan that we're not all in on this together, because I don't think I want to be all in on this together. So anyways, okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We have, hold on, I wrote it down. It's serious tonight, guys. It is serious. Okay, we're going to talk about the Ford trucks, of course, because clearly that's become a problem. We're going to talk about the new testing guidelines, changes in those. We're going to talk about immigration. We're going to talk about the rebellions that have started all over the world. We are going to talk about the new enemy of the state. I'm sure you've guessed already who that is, which group that is. We're going to talk about the attacks on children. And we're going to talk about how these world leaders are so cornered at this point that they're actually sounding like Stalin. They're so cornered that they're in full-blown panic mode, and they're like just talking, and it's almost like they forgot that they're supposed to be rulers of democratic countries, and they're openly spewing their totalitarian speeches on us. It's absolutely unbelievable. We're going to do that. I'm going to show you what Trudeau said yesterday and what Joseph Stalin said in 1927, and you're going to see how eerie it is. We are at that level, guys, so we're at that level. Okay, before we get into all that, though, say hi to the people in the chat here. Spike C, Tommy Gunn, GDR the Maker. Hello to everybody. I hope you're hanging in, also hanging out with me tonight. But I hope you're doing relatively okay in this. Just try to stay positive. I don't want to tell you guys what to do, but I'm trying to stay positive through all this. But anyways, okay, a little disclaimer I want to throw out there before, because I've had a few people leave this comment, and I don't know if it's like the same people always leaving the same comment or if it's different people, because maybe it is a true thing. I wanted to anyways, okay, so people have been saying, oh, you know, Julie, in your live streams, if you could just get to the point and stop giggling and laughing and all that. And okay, let me just explain something. The giggle is half the time because I'm nervous as heck when I'm on here. This is completely not what I want to do, completely out of my comfort zone. And you would have thought, you know, I've been doing this since January, these live streams. You'd think that I'd get more used to it, but I don't. Like literally before I go live, I'll like find things to do around the house so I don't have to go live, like to delay the going live, right? I'll be like, oh, I should pick up that thing over there. Like I was picking up some stuff on the bench back there for no reason earlier, like right before coming on. So anyways, I'm not giggling because I'm trying to waste your time, or I'm sincerely trying to do my best, but I understand. I get it. It's annoying as heck. I'm annoyed with myself. Trust me, annoyed with myself. But I giggled again. Can't help it. But if you could bear with me through all of my numerous imperfections that I know I have, because I am trying to get out a message, and I just wanted to say that all of this, like I do hours of reading every week to bring you this content, and I'm not saying, oh, you have to go in and say I'm great, but I do this, but I also have like a full-time job, and it's really hard for me to do everything I want to do. So half the time I come on these streams, I'm not quite as ready as I wish I could have been. I know that I giggle out of pure nervousness. I lose my words. Like, I cannot remember words. Like words that I use every single day. I'm on a live stream and I'm nervous. The word will be blocked out of my brain and I can't come up with it. You guys know in the chat, half the time you guys are telling me in chat the words I need to use. So this is why I do this. So I'm not going to apologize for the nervous giggling. It's just who I am. And I'm going to keep doing the streams, and this is what you get. So this is my disclaimer. This is what you get. I'm not a puppet of anyone. So when you don't want a puppet, well, you get the person with imperfections. I don't have a prompter. I don't have handlers. I have my family, and thank goodness. I mean, I thank the Lord every day that I have my family, because they are so supportive. But that's it. That it's just me. So you get me, nervous giggle, and all imperfections. And by the way, this is why I don't actually go out and debate, because I'm so nervous and I do so poorly in front of people that I would get decimated. Like, I would be just demolished. It would be an epic win for whoever's on the other side, and they could debate something that I'm super comfortable with, and I would lose just out of pure nerves. So anyways, okay, that's it. That's my disclaimer, guys. So hopefully that that comment doesn't show up again. But if it does, what the hell? What can I do? Okay, so guys, thank you for all the comments in here, by the way. So yes, okay. 0 restrictions in Saskatchewan. Hold on, is this true? Let me just pull up your comment here, Glenn. 0 restriction in Saskatchewan. But yeah, they're trying to encourage everybody to get the jab at this point. Yeah, 100%. Okay, let me just continue greeting a couple of you folks, you fine folks who are joining me today. Ali, hello, Ali. I don't know if I've seen you before. Maybe you watch, but you don't comment, but welcome. I'm really super excited that you're commenting today. Thank you. Tax Slave, I've seen you before. Philip Cockram, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Glenn Binks, John Lewis, oh goodness. NYC Barbecue, hello. That was such a nice little hello. Just hello here. Hi. I love it. Tommy Gunn, Spike C. I hope I didn't forget anybody. You guys are awesome. And I'm so grateful that you guys keep tuning in for my nonsense every week. Okay, let's go about it. I'm going to go on a little bit rant about trucks. I don't know if you've seen this. I'm going to try to pull it up. I see that's the only thing I don't have ready. The attack on the Ford trucks. So there was an article. Gosh, who wrote that stupid article this week? I came across, I'm going to look it up. Just 1 second, guys, because I have it right here. I just forgot to pull it up on my PC. But there is an attack on Ford trucks. And that is because trucks are now, how did they word it? Oh, how did they word that? Trucks are something about how terrible it is in the cities. The F-150, there's a hate on for that. And I don't understand why. And I can't find it. This is horrible. I'm going to try to Google it for you guys, because you're going to want to see this. So trucks in Toronto. Let's see if that pulls it up. This guy apparently thought that it was a good idea to put a news article about that. Oh, here it is. I found it. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, here it is, guys. Uh-oh. Oh, I see I got a red bar there for a second on the stream. I hope that I didn't cut out. Oh, okay. Here. Pickup trucks are a plague on Canadian streets. So, a plague. Like, so, look, I know you guys thought criminals maybe were a plague on Canadian, maybe drugs, you know. Maybe evil was a plague on Canadian streets, but no, trucks, and specifically pickup trucks. Now, they're not going after like the big trucks that transport stuff over to Walmart. Those are okay. But the pickup trucks, because that's the ones that, you know, alpha males tend to own. Like if you're a guy and you're alpha guy, you typically want a Ford F-150, so, or a pickup truck of any kind, right? So of course they're going to go after that. But you know what? I'm here to tell you that truck lives matter. Okay. And I think that should be a t-shirt. Somebody, a hashtag something, hashtag trucks lives matter. You shouldn't go after the Ford 150 trucks. Anyways, I thought that was just so ridiculous. You know, it's not the drunk drivers that are the problem. It's the trucks. It's the pickup trucks. So anyways, I thought we'd ease in to this stream with that awesome piece of comedy brought to you by, who is this? Globe and Mail, the Globe and Mail Toronto, who think it was an awesome idea to publish this article. See, July 25th, 2 days ago, because that's the big problem we have right now. Like that's our problem in Canada. Not everything else, the Ford 150. So anyways, Ford Lives Matters, guys. And I'm not sponsored by Ford, by the way. It's just the only pickup truck I know. Okay, COVID testing. Ooh, that's a big one this week. Have you guys seen that? Apparently, and I'm going to tread very carefully because we are on YouTube, but we do have the change in the way they're doing this. So this right here, I'm going to make sure there's no other audio playing. Sometimes when you start up these websites, there's like something will start playing. Okay, we're good. So there's a lab alert, and it made the news this week. And this is straight from the CDC. So it's mainstream. I'm told this is an authoritative source by the overlords in the government. So here we go. There is a change. They're going to change the way. But see, after December 31st, 2021, because you know what, guys? It's really important that we get through this flu season with this test that is invalid, because we need to keep the numbers up. That's why they're doing it. Of course, they're going to wait until the flu season is done. They will withdraw the request to have that emergency use. And they have gone into, there's a whole, like you guys can go read about this. It gets really technical and I don't want to bore everybody with all of this, but because it's super technical talk. But they are replacing this test. So what we knew up to now, right? The PCR test, they are replacing that with a bunch of in vitro tests. And they're offering, I think, 4 or 5 different kinds of ways to do the in vitro test. And that's going to replace the PCR diagnostic test. And the reason is because they claim that they are not able to properly differentiate between what is influenza and what is coronavirus based on this test. So, I mean, I guess we were kind of all wondering where the flu went. A lot of us knew, but this is where the flu went. It was diagnosed as corona as per the CDC admitted with the release of this new test. So anyways, after diagnosing everybody still with coronavirus until December 31st, 2021, they will then move over to a bunch of other different ways of testing with the in vitro instead. Here is the in vitro. If you want to go read, this is fda.gov. You guys can go and read it on here. It explains all of the in vitro diagnostics that they can use. And they give a bunch of options, the molecular, SARS, whatever. And then they're going to go into a whole bunch of different methods. So go check it out, guys. But I mean, I'm sure like this was a Scooby-Doo kind of mystery. Like, where did the flu go? Well, it went in the PCR test and sorry, guys, it was the flu all along. Oh, well, sorry, guys. But you know what? at the end of the day, it's not going to be the politicians that are going to be held responsible for this. It never is the politicians. It's going to be the scientists. So they're probably going to find a few scientists to blame this whole fiasco on, as more and more people wake up to this. And this is where the panic is coming in from the world leaders, because they're really going hardcore totalitarian on us. And they're going to realize, when people realize and start waking up and telling people, you know, we were duped, when people start realizing they were duped, they're actually, oh gosh, that dog, they're going to get really upset, and we're going to need to have a fall guy. And I believe some of the scientists, you guys, you don't know it yet, but as the useful idiots of this new world order, I'm going to shut my door. Hold on, guys. So that's my neighbor's dog, and once he gets going, there is no stopping it. Now my dogs are freaked out about it. Everybody's in on it in this house. So okay, once the people realize how duped they've been, and we need the fall guy, it's going to be scientists who were the useful idiots. The same thing when the teachers are going to take the fall for having encouraged things like critical race theory and potentially the jab, if it gets that far, and they've encouraged. So the useful idiots, and this is the craziest part, is all these people pushing this agenda, going along with it, are going to be completely blindsided once you take the fall for this. And it's not going to be a pretty fall. You're going to lose everything, and you're going to be lucky if you're not jailed and if you don't lose your life. So, and this is my message to all the useful idiots out there who are going along with this. It's not going to be pretty for you. You're the first against the wall when these types of regimes take over. So, okay. Yes, potentially Binks is saying potentially Fauci with his own brand of totalitarian. I've heard it being dubbed the Faucism. It's actually pretty clever. But yeah, so yeah. 100% Vault, this is what is going to happen once people realize what they've done, in the sense that what they've allowed to be put into them. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Okay, Saint Jean, hello. So it's not going to be great in the next coming months, because all of this is kind of colliding everywhere. And more people are starting to realize what's been happening, and they are realizing that they're being used. And once the vaccinated start getting sick, that's when the true anger is going to be. Of course, I have to say, the people who did not get the jab will also be the fall guy. And we're going to get to that a bit later on. I'll explain why. But we'll also be the fall guy, because the anger will be directed at us. So it'll be things like, why didn't you tell us? I'm like, dude, I came on here every week trying to tell you people. And I'm just a small micro channel in the sea of information. There's bigger channels that I've been trying to tell you. You just didn't want to know. You didn't care. You didn't want to know. You just listened to the mainstream media and you went along. So, okay, Faye Knox is here. Woo! Hello, Faye. Welcome. Okay, so this brings me to the insane immigration numbers that were just published. I believe I have that open. Let me just find it, guys. Yes, here we go. This is from Post Millennial. Those guys are doing a really good job trying to wake up the masses as well. The Post Millennial. I'm sure you guys all know about them. But liberals, to break immigration records, project 401,000 new residents in 2021. So permanent residents, right, surpassing the previous high of 1913. Now, I just want to say, the immigration in 1913 was very, very different than the immigration in 2021. So if we rewind, take our DeLorean back into 1913, we brought a lot of a lot of Europeans wanted to come here to Canada. And what we did is we made it easy for them to go to the prairies with incentives. So we took people who were already motivated to come here, but they had to come here and build stuff. They couldn't just, like, there's nothing. So they had to come and build stuff. So Montreal was built, like Calgary and all that. But when you think about the rest of the prairies at large, not very much was developed in 1913. And the expectation was these people are going to come here with their own money and participate in Canadian society by building the country with the rest of us. So this is the 1913 version of immigration versus the 2021 version. Is, yes, there are people wanting to come here because they're trying to get away from their hellhole countries, but it's the government is actively seeking people. And when a government does that, instead of just vetting people who want to come here, when they go and actively seek, it does two side effects that are pretty brutal. The one side effect is we're not actually bringing in the people who really want to be here and are willing to work. And the second side effect, which is tied to the first one, is that we're bringing in people that are handpicked by a very biased government. So that means they're deciding who's coming. So this no longer is comparable to anything we've done before, right? So in the last few years, we've been more handpicking people we want. And you can see where the dangers lie in that method is you're bringing people here that have a goal of not assimilating, a goal of just coming here for the sake of coming here, but mostly to vote for the government that brought them here. So it's a very when your government is not strong enough on merit and arguments alone, they need to bring in people. And that's kind of similar to what the Democrats are doing in the US. So all of our US friends in the chat, we feel your pain because you have your southern border. We have Trudeau bringing them from all over, so that they can vote liberal, just like your Democrats are trying to bring in people so they vote Democrat. Because just like in, they're not helping out the Cubans right now, right? They're not bringing in the Cuban refugees. They're bringing in the Mexican ones, right? But the Cubans are actually refugees. The Mexicans are breaking the law to come into the US. It's so nonsensical when you think about it, but yet people, it's like they don't think about it. So, okay. Derek Woodford, hello. You're late, but it's never too late to show up. Some people show up like 5 minutes before I wrap up, and I still appreciate that people join. So, Binks, yeah, were you supposed to get a wrench, Binks? I gave you one. I thought you wanted one. I thought I took down your name as a wrench requester to be a moderator. So if you don't want it, I can take it out. But anyways, okay. We haven't seen our electrical guy. He was our troll from 2 weeks ago. I think we scared him off last time with the power of our words, because these people, they can't handle when we make fun of them. And I think we made a lot of fun of him. It was a lot of fun for me. And I think for the chat too. Oh gosh, those dogs. So yeah, it was absolutely insane having that guy in there. But you know what? It's really important to keep making fun of people like that. I like feeding the trolls, to be honest. It really entertains me. And their arguments are easily dismantled. We can dismantle them pretty easily. And that's kind of the goal of these streams. This is the goal of the live stream is 100% to go totally crazy on communists. Like, honestly, I demolish communists every time I'm here, and that is the goal. Okay, my dogs are going crazy, guys, and I swear I just saw a guy come and peek in my front window, like, because he saw my dogs right there, and I'm like, you can see right through here because it's a big window. My back, like what I use as my studio, is also my office, and there's a big door that separates from the dogs. But you can see straight through the house, and this guy was like this in the window, totally distracted me during the live stream. See, it's probably the vaccine squad? They're coming for me. They're peeking through my window. And Julie, come answer your door. So anyways, okay, he seems to have left, but it was a little bit creepy. I'm not gonna lie. If he comes through the back door, you guys have to tell me in the chat. Okay, it was Trudeau. Oh my gosh, you guys make me laugh. Okay, I've got to compose myself, regain my focus. Okay, So yes, the immigration insanity. So now we have that. So if we look back at the article here, so this, let me make sure there's nothing playing. All of these ads, they pop up. I need an ad blocker. Okay, so they're going to convert international students, asylum seekers, temporary foreign workers into permanent residents. So that's the plan. And this is one thing that is really, it's a really funny sentence to me. It says, against all odds. I'm like, what odds? That you thought people wouldn't come here anymore because you kind of turned Canada into an absolute communist hellhole, and you're concerned that people wouldn't want to come here anymore? Is that the odds you're against? Because I don't know what odds they think they're against. They control the border. They decide, like, what odds are you talking about? So anyways, this is the immigration minister, Marco Mendicino. So I don't know what odds this dude's talking about, but honestly, there are no, the odds is just, my guess is the people don't want to come to Canada because they realize what the hell's going on here. We get 100% banning, speech banning, loss of freedoms, locked in our homes. Like, why the hell would you come here? Yes, tax slave. I get a peeping Tom and I giggle. Nervousness. It's nerves, guys. Although, I do have fun on these streams because I find all of this stuff that I'm reading to like so ludicrous that it does actually legit make me laugh, like a real laugh. So anyway, so it's a bit of a mix of both. But yeah, I don't know. My dog is like an insane beast. I have two dogs. My bigger dog is my guardian angel protector. She would die in a fight for me. So I know that with her around, I'm cool because you try to come near me, she will demolish you, absolutely demolish you. But she's a very kind dog. She's very good. She's not aggressive. But when it comes to people coming near me, she'll get very, very agitated. And if she thinks I'm in danger, you're done. So she's a great dog. Anyways, okay. So here, largely owing to the pandemic, Canada, what the hell's wrong with me? Canada fell short of its 341 target. So largely owing to the pandemic, look, obviously it did. What do you think you're going to do? You lock everybody inside their homes and you're like, oh, but we're going to bring in immigrants. That makes zero sense. But again, they still managed to do 184 during a pandemic, and now they're trying. We're still in a pandemic. We're told like Delta variant, freak out everyone, but 401,000 people in 2021. So just unbelievable. Okay, so they're doing increases after that. So we're not done after 2021. They're going to do a bunch more in 2023, 2022, 23. And each year they're trying to increase the quota by 10,000. And what happens is they're also going to allow these people to bring in family. So things are very much trending in the right direction. So what he's saying here, the immigration minister, is they're almost laughing at us because they're like, see, Canada, we're going to bring in the people who are going to keep us in power, and you can't do anything to change that. So obviously they're trending in the right direction for these people. It's going great for them. So yeah, it's troubling. It's troubling. Okay. I'll show you my dogs, at the end of the stream if you guys want. I'll bring them back in. I'm getting some yellow bars here. So I'm really hoping that the internet's not going to go all flaky on me. I'm going to shut this window here. It's because all of my tabs here have like Trudeau on them. So the internet's like we can't handle this much Trudeau in one stream. Okay. So here, let's check out another article here from Post Millennial. This was on July 26th, so 2 days ago. Ford says he doesn't believe in forcing healthcare workers to get the vaccine. Now, don't be fooled. This is what Ford is saying now. There will come a day where it will actually be Ford implores healthcare workers to get the vaccine. That'll be the title. And then it will be all healthcare workers must get vaccinated by date in order to keep their jobs. So this is part of what we talked about last week when we did the stream about how they mean to keep you, they're trying to keep you confused. And it's because I think if they were to say something else in Ontario, we would freak out. So they're trying to measure, and they're taking the pulse of everything they're doing. So they're putting something out there, then they take the pulse and they readjust. So that's what they're doing. This is just a readjustment saying, okay, don't freak out, guys, because we're not going to force you. Just, again, propaganda, don't fall for it. They are going to force us. Okay. Now, we have... the anti-vax rebellion has started. So, and it's not that people are anti-vax. That's what they're portraying it as. But it's that people are anti-insane measures from the government. People have had enough of the government interfering in their lives and locking them in, forcing stuff on them, taking their business away, taking their freedoms away, banning them, putting censorship all over the place. And basically treating us all like we're idiots and we need the government to tell us what to do. So they have now the people are rising. So you all over, you have Greece, you have France. I think Quebec is rising too. But anyways, there are a lot of protests, and this is worldwide. So this is what is now starting the panic mode of the globalist elite who's trying to force this on us. So they're really scared at this point. They're more scared than we are. I think there are. So this we need to rejoice. We need to rejoice. Take these wins as we can, because the panic is coming out everywhere. So people are protesting. Obviously, they're not protesting vaccines in general. They're protesting the government actions and lockdowns. So it's being pinned on because, of course, we have, and maybe I'll just get into this, but who is the new enemy of the state? And that is, you guessed it, ding, 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 you win the prize. It's the unvaxxed. So the new enemy of the state is the unvaxxed. And they're coming for us. They're coming for us, and they are not even hiding their agenda anymore. So remember when they had said, we want 75% to be vaccinated. Well, that goal was somewhat reached in almost everywhere, but they're now saying, oh, but now the unvaxxed are driving all these other variants, and it's going to be a pandemic of the unvaxxed. So I'm going to quote here. So this is, again, I shouldn't have any problems on YouTube or DLive because this is an authoritative source. This is called Reuters.com. This is your source, guys. It's your newspapers. Pandemic goes on for the unvaccinated. So now they're calling this the pandemic of the unvaccinated. And I think Biden was the designated person to say it first. And once that code got out, all of the other world leaders have come out with that same thing now. So we are now going into that. And this is where we officially stop to being all in this together. So now there is a clear separation in society driven by the elites, driven by the political class. And it's about to get brutal for us. So remember earlier when I was saying that once the people, the vaxxed people start realizing what they did to their own bodies, they're going to be mad. They're going to have to direct the anger somewhere. And a lot of it is going to be coming towards us. And there's going to be part jealousy, part, how come you didn't try to stop me? It's going to be absolutely brutal what's about to hit now. So very sadly, this is coming. So just, I'm trying to mentally prepare for that because we're going to get hit on every front. So we're going to have the political class hitting us. We're going to have the people who got it and are upset that we didn't. And we're going to have the people who are going to blame us as well, right? So there's going to be all of that, all packaged in one go. We're going to have people trying to get us, to coerce us. We're going to have our own family members come after us. It's going to be absolutely brutal. Okay. So I'm getting a lot of red bars on my thing here. I really hope you guys are still seeing the stream okay. Let me know if you are. If somebody could just put in the chat if you guys are still seeing everything okay. I really do hope so. Maybe this is the government trying to shut down my internet. That might come for real, actually. Okay. So, hey, political foolishness, welcome. So the pandemic of the unvaccinated is happening now. Trudeau said it yesterday, and you'll notice. So we've had Australia, we've had everybody, like so much. New Zealand. Thank you so much, guys, for confirming the stream is good, because it's kind of freaking me out because I get all these. I get like it's green, and then all of a sudden it goes boom, it goes red, and I'm like, oh shit! Like, did I lose everybody? I don't know anymore. And with my luck, it'll like freeze when my face is like distorted, and you'll see a distorted Julie for like 2 minutes. But okay. And I think it's because of all of these articles that I have open. So I'm trying to get into it, to get through these articles fast, so I can shut down as many things as possible. Here's another interesting one. Ontario will have different rules for the unvaccinated students this September. So remember, Ford is like, you don't have to get vaccinated if you're healthcare, but if you're a student. So this is how I know what he said about the healthcare workers is complete BS, and he's coming for them too. And by the way, the people who did get the jab are also going to be extremely upset with their family doctors, the nurses who injected them. It's about to get really brutal once people realize. But anyways, okay. A funny thing, I was looking at this guy. Who is this guy? This is what's his name? That's the Ontario chief medical doctor, whatever that thing is. Oh, look at all these ads. I'm hoping there's no sound on all that. It's gonna be brutal for you guys to listen to. Okay, so check out these guys. Any guesses in the chat? Put in the chat. Who does this guy remind you of? I'll give you a few minutes to and see if he reminds you of the same person that I am reminded of when I look at this guy. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna Google a picture and show you guys after. But anyways, Dr. Zero COVID. Yes, Mark Pope. Hello, Mark. So glad you caught this one live. Super excited that you're interacting in the chat. Satan. Adolf Eichmann. That's actually a good one. I didn't even think of that. Adolf Eichmann. Perhaps. But not Satan, but perhaps Satan too. But no, he reminds me of Stalin. Lenin. Let me show you a picture of Lenin here. That should be accepted by Google. They love Lenin. See this guy here? Hold on, let's get this. Look at this. Oh my God! I can't help it. Like, honestly, guys, seriously. He's got the same like face that caves in over here, the same hair, the same kind of like glossy eyes. Anyways, okay, maybe the mouth is not the same. The mouth is where it's not, but okay. That's who he reminds me of. So our little Lenin, sorry, I meant doctor here. He actually says that Ontario will have different rules for unvaccinated students. Now, it's not going to stop at students. They're, again, like I was explaining earlier, I think they're doing these little feelers. They're throwing out and they're trying to figure out how much rebellion it's going to cause. So different rules for unvaccinated students this December. How this is not Germany 1930s all over again is beyond me. We did 13 episodes on Germany 1930s and 40s, and I went through all of that. So if you were with me for those streams, Faye Knox was, she knows that all of this is exactly a direct replica. It's absolutely scary how we're going right back into it. Veterans Voice, hello. Hi, Chris. I hope you're doing well. And I saw somebody else, AWOL is here, and Vault Dweller. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. Okay, so of course, different rules for vaccinated, unvaccinated students. They're going to treat them differently. This is at a college level. I think we're going to find out in September that kids who are in school will either be kicked out of school altogether, like the high school and the primary schools, do homeschooling, like the home program that they did last year, again, if they're not vaccinated, or they could be even more cruel than that and say, well, you can come to school, but if you're unvaxxed, you have to wear a mask. You're going to sit in a separate lunchroom than everybody else. You're going to have to stay 6 meters apart, but everybody else can play together. It's going to be like this absolute unleashing of pure cruelty onto the kids. That's going to happen. That's my guess. It's my guess. And I wouldn't put it past them to do that. So anyways, yeah, so this is coming. It's coming, guys. So get ready for that. What else do I have for you today? So vaccine campaign targets Toronto neighborhood with low immunization rates. So this is the polite way of saying we're coming for you. And they're going after some neighborhoods, and it's really creepy. Look at this. This is the sentence in this article that got me the most creeped out about the whole thing. The 2-day hyper-local initiative will target people living in the M4B and M4C postal codes. So it means like they're really looking at who's already gotten it, and they're starting with the massive areas. But once they're done with the bigger areas, they're all coming back to us. It's going to be everyone. And they said 75%, but that's not going to be where they're going to stop. They're going to keep going on this. They're actually, it's funny because it's No Frills. No Frills is like a grocery store in Ontario, and maybe you have it in other provinces. But for anybody who doesn't know what No Frills is, it's a grocery store, and it's a grocery store where it's like you just bag stuff yourself. So you can get cheaper food there because of the fact that they hire less personnel in the store. So anyway, so I just thought it's funny, like, hey, like you need a loaf of bread. Well, we can get you the jab at the same time, guys. It's just crazy. And they're going into elementary schools. So this to me is an indicator, because you're noticing that they could really do their own pop-up clinics, or they could do it in governmental buildings, but they're really going to people in an effort to get this launched. So they're going in your grocery store, they're coming to your elementary school. To me, this indicates that future vaccination campaigns will happen within schools. So once school is started again, they're going to go after the kids that way. Shoppers World, I'm not even sure what that is, but another grocery store here. So to try to make it almost impossible not to bump into us this weekend to address any vaccine questions or to go ahead and get the vaccine. What they really mean is just go ahead and get the vaccine. Obviously, they're not going to answer your vaccine questions. They're not there for that. It's not what they're there for. They're there to get a vaccine in every arm. Trudeau said it. Okay. So yeah, this is coming. This is coming. Let's look at Quebec real quick. Quebec offering a 3rd dose of the vaccine. So remember, I laugh because this is so ridiculous. They had no idea what they were doing when they were rolling out the initial vaccines. And then came the issues where if you got AstraZeneca and Moderna, for example, you can't go to certain countries because it's not recognized as a mix. So now they're offering a 3rd dose. So it's like, they're like almost just doing whatever. It's like, oh, 3rd dose. Yeah, sure. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Just 3rd dose of AstraZeneca. And this is so that you can go to the beach. Like, what is happening? It's like everybody's turned off their brains and they're like, 3rd dose of AstraZeneca must go. I will never understand this. I'll never understand this. Okay. Oh, we're not even done yet. We're not. I I even had like this, what I'm drinking is a coffee. I know it should be like vodka because it's the state we're in, but it's actually just coffee because I was like, I have so much to get through today. I can't do this in 1 hour. So I actually grabbed the coffee to make sure I could get through this and my voice doesn't go. So Faye, I'm just going to put in here what Faye said because it's this is important messages that we have to share. So everybody, you can read that on the screen. Sorry that your sister is sick there, Faye. But yeah, this comes back to the CDC test. If you guys read in the future plans, I shut down the window on here and I'm not going to try and go and get it back. But if you read the future plans for how they're going to do the testing, they're talking about, it talked about pooled results. And a lot of you know, I work in finance, and in finance, when we have pooled, like for example, pooled funds, it's you put a whole bunch of funds together and you allow purchasing power to individual investors who may not have been able to purchase that type of fund. But by pooling it with a big group of people, that individual investor is able to purchase part of that fund in the market, right? So pooled funds do that. So it basically allows you to access more funds. It allows you to benefit from the fund management fees that are often lower than retail because you have a whole bunch of people in those pooled funds. So the asset managers of those are just kind of going through that, and they won't charge you as much as they would charge you in the retail environment because a lot of people are paying them. So you save that way. So that's a pooled fund. But what it means is you have access to more funds than normally. And I'm thinking, I'm a lay person when it comes to this PCR testing stuff, but in the new world of where they're doing that in vitro testing, you guys can look into this and maybe somebody will be able to explain it better. But there's something about the pooled test results too. And my concern when I read that is like, well, does that mean that they're going to, like, if they take 10 people, they pull all the results together, one person had COVID, they decide all 10 had COVID, that could be a problem. Or are they going to go the reverse way and they're going to say, well, not all 10 people had COVID, only one. So we're going to assume that result is negative, no COVID. I don't know which of the two ways. My guess is it's going to go the other way, where they're actually going to decide, well, one person has COVID, 9 other people didn't, but we're pooling them together. So now we're going to tell all 10 people they have COVID. I'm really concerned. So you guys can look into that. I saw that pooled testing and I thought, this can't be good. Like, I don't understand how you can do anything pooled when it comes to testing individuals. Okay, so anyways, you guys look into that. Maybe you guys will know. Maybe you can come and explain it on here better than I could. I saw something else about somebody's neighbor. I'm sorry, I wanted to put that up here. But somebody said their neighbor got it as well. I have to be so careful. This is why I like to put the message on the screen. Here it is. Binks. So I'll let you guys read this message here. Yeah, I know. At this point, I don't know what to tell. I have some of my friends who I thought were never going to get the job. They ended up getting the job. And then when they told me, it's like my heart sank in my stomach when I learned about it. And it's like, at that point, like, I don't know what to say anymore to people. Because I can't do anything to help. Like, I can try to warn you before, but anyways. Okay. I saw also a message from this. Looks like it would be, yes, here. When we become communists, we're all going to drink the vodka. Although in Canada, it'll probably be more like maybe, I don't know, Bud Light. What's it? No, that's US. US is you guys are going to have Bud Light. What are we going to have in Canada? I don't even know. Molson? We're going to drink Molson up here. Whatever. Can we make cheap vodka up here? I don't even know what vodka is made out of. Like, I don't drink that stuff at all. Is it potatoes? It's potatoes, eh? I don't know what we're going to do. How are we going to drink ourselves into compliance, guys? Because that's what the Russians did, right? They're always drunk all the time. That's why there's that persistent thing about Russians being drunk. It's so true. I would drink all the time if we were in a communist thing. Like, honestly, you drink until you either pass out or you have no more booze because there's a shortage. But then people find ways, right? So anyways, it's very true. We will be drinking. You can make vodka out of everything, eh, Derek? Oh, well, that's sweet. Let's do it. That's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna need to make vodka. A vodka. Oh, hold on, that's not the one I wanted. You make this one here. You can, yeah, I don't. We have grain. We have a lot of grain here. What else can we make vodka out of? I'm trying to think. Corn, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, it'll be funny. It'll be funny when we have to do that. We're gonna have to put our thinking caps on and start coming up with ideas. What is here? Apple cider? You promised apple cider. Did I really? What did I do? What did I do, Sin City? Did I promise apple cider? For everybody, I can make cherry cider. I have a cherry tree in my backyard, so I can make cherry cider. I'll make something drunk we can get drunk off of. Yeah, we're gonna get weed too. That's gonna be a good one. Maybe this is why they wanted weed. They wanted weed legal so that everybody can be stoned out of their mind while they roll out the communist carpet right under your feet. Okay. Good times on this chat today, guys. I love it. Okay. So the blaming of the unvaxxed is here. Let's go into that because I wanted to show you what Trudeau said here. So just going to show you this before we get into the Trudeau speech. I'm trying to delay Trudeau because I'm going to have to listen to his voice. And I'm sorry, guys, you're going to have to listen to. But yeah, it's going to be great. Okay, so see the wave of unvaccinated. This is true. It's coming our way. So it's coming, and I don't know what to say. Check out this Toronto restaurant. Oops, sorry here. Toronto restaurant praised for asking unvaccinated customers to eat outdoors. This, guys, this is Canada, 2021. We have a class of people in our country who cannot dine indoors at the restaurant's request. So again, they got a bunch of hate, but they also felt the love. So the blog TO, Toronto restaurant asked their unvaccinated customers to eat outdoors. And they're trying to justify this. See, they're only asking that unvaccinated people elect to sit outdoors, not asking for any information. So basically they positioned it as, look, if you're unvaccinated, we would request that you eat outside. You don't have to tell us anything, but if you are, just eat outside. So, and they're saying, they give this example first as an attempt at a negative attention. They're hiding the true negative attention this is getting, but this is what they're saying in the article. So business have every right to do this. It's their place. They are paying for it, not you. They're responsible for their patrons. So if you're not vaccinated, you are putting others at risk, especially those who have kids at home under 12 or people who can't get vaxxed medically. So they put this up here, then they go through, though they've received negative attention, as if trying that was an endorsement and an applaud for the business owners, and basically saying, private business, they can do whatever they want. Well, okay, if they can do whatever they want, how is it that we're being forced to get the vax, right? I'm also a person. I shouldn't get that forced, but you see how it goes. It's rules for thee and not rules for me and not for thee. So anyways, so yeah, business can do whatever they want. However, businesses who are already in a very struggling manner because of the lockdowns now have to contend with the actual reality that they will never get their businesses back up to capacity, ever. It's not going to happen. So long as this BS goes on, businesses, you are going to lose out. So the smartest thing to do would be to ignore this and just allow people to come in. People who want to support your business, let them come in and do, right? Because this is ridiculous. But this segregation, these guys are probably going to get some form of a grant from the government for doing this. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some kind of under the table deals with local government agencies and businesses who are good little businesses who follow the rules and banish the unvaccinated, unclean people. So the wave of support. So check out these little commie good boys here trying to say this is an amazing restaurant. I don't doubt that perfectly, but they're asking people who are unvaccinated to down outside, a gutsy and smart move to protect their customers' health. I'm proud of them. Their cooking also happens to be damn good. So this is a citizen, check mark, little blue check mark. So a good citizen, according to Twitter. And he's actually proud of them. So this is, oh, this actually changed. See, I went back into Twitter now. So he's actually proud of them for doing this. It shows you the level of how deep in we are to this. This is when the Germans started doing this to the Jewish people, there were a lot of Germans who went along with it, and there were a lot of Germans who didn't. When Stalin started doing this to the richer agriculture, the farmers, basically, a lot of people didn't want to go along with this. The Russians were like, we don't want to go against our farmers. But some people did. And they're like, yeah, those farmers, those capitalist pigs, we need to get rid of them. So this would be an example of back in the 30s, whether you're in Russia, whether you're in Germany, of the people siding with the government with these absolutely horrific measures they're taking. And of course, the other side is being subdued. So there is no true defense of this in this article. It's really just an attack on the unvaxxed and trying to make sure that people are intimidated enough that you want to go into a restaurant, you better get vaccinated. So this one, of course, how this article found this tweet is probably, it was arranged, right? So this is the sister, the aunt, the niece of the owners. And so, of course, a bit of a marketing here for the restaurant as well at the same time, because they're being good boys, kicking out the unvaxxed. So there we go. The anti-vax crowd is small but loud. So again, the propaganda keeps going on. It just never ends. It says right here. It says right here that anti-vax. So they're lumping together to create one clear category of people. They're vaxing together everyone who just doesn't want the jab. Not necessarily anti-vax. Anti-vax is somebody who is like anti-all vax. Hashtag not all vaccines. So this is where it's again, more propaganda. So you can see it's every single thing directed at the mainstream, directed at the sheep, is pure propaganda, arranged marketing, proud of this behavior, all of this to reinforce. It's just absolutely disgusting. I can't. And of course, they never go and show the other side. Okay. So these business owners have a right to turn away people or to go sit outside away from customers that are vaccinated. So they probably picked this guy's tweet because it was very stern. So they have the right. So imagine that in 1927, Stalin, imagine this guy saying, you know, the government, we have the right to go after these rich peasants, these capitalist pigs. This makes me feel to go around my city now. I know that the government has a brain in their head. You can see how it's like legit the same language. It's exactly the same, except all in tweet. And before it would have been people just speaking in newspapers. But it's absolutely horrendous. Right now, the Oakwood Hardware is being attacked for nicely asking unvaccinated people to eat on the patio. Please be kind. So we're not required to be kind to the unvaxxed, who are the rats of civilization right now. but we have to be kind to the owners who are getting attacked for their decision. Okay, so anyways, enough of that. I'm also tired of seeing all these clamato. How many people went and got like a Caesar during this segment because of the power of the brainwashing on your screen right here? How many just went out and ordered a clamato? Okay, so let me see what else I have here. Okay, I'm going to share this one with you. So brace yourselves, guys, because you're going to hear Trudeau. And if you're like me, the voice comes into your ear. It sends like an electrical shock through your body. You feel like you're going to puke and you want to pass out at the same time. But we're going to get through this together. We're in this one together, guys. But I want you to listen to what he said yesterday. I think he's in New Brunswick somewhere, and he's doing he's now going after the unvaxxed. So I told you Biden unleashed the authority for all governments to go ahead and attack the unvaxxed. That was like the dog signal from Biden. Here's what he is actually saying about that. So here we go, guys. I warned you.
Concern out there. It is likely that we will see a rise in cases over the coming months, but it will primarily be limited to unvaccinated people. And certainly the serious health outcomes, the overwhelming of our health authorities in certain parts of the country, which is potentially possible, is of real concern. But at the same time, so many millions of Canadians have stepped up and done the right thing and gotten vaccinated for themselves, for the community's safety. It's the way we're going to move forward. And we are working with provinces on creating ways to continue to encourage all Canadians to get vaccinated as it is safe and as it is effective. I mean, if people are at the point where they're saying, okay, I'm going to let everyone else get vaccinated and then I'll be kept safe. Well, if everyone else gets vaccinated, they will be kept safe. You will not be safe. That's why we need to continue to make sure that people are getting vaccinated. And I know different provinces are looking at incentive programs. We're certainly working with the provinces on documentation to facilitate international travel as more and more countries.
Whew, okay. Sorry, guys. I had to take a break from that. I legit had to take a break because, it is his body language, like everything. Anyways, this is what a traitor looks like, by the way. He's just, it's just horrific. And this is what I mean when I was saying earlier at the start of the stream, in case you joined a bit later, I'll just tell you at the start of the stream, I actually said that they're panicking now. They're panicking, and because they're realizing, okay, well, we have all these vaccines, people don't want them. So they're panicking, and they have some kind of an overlord who's actually telling them, you have to get your citizens vaccinated. So whoever his overlord is now putting pressure on him. So he's panicking because he realizes his country doesn't want to get vaccinated fully. And so now the fears come out. So they're throwing everything at you. They're throwing in the same speech, they're like, okay, so the unvaxxed, you guys are gonna get sick, you're gonna die, right? Like, it's like that's the kind of idea. But if you were a good boy and you got your vaccines, you're gonna be safe. You're gonna be safe, and you're gonna be totally okay. It's all good. Like, you were such a good boy. But we've tried to help the unvaccinated. Like, you can hear the pure panic in this speech. I don't know if you guys can see it, but you know how when you're afraid, you start panicking and doing like really random disjointed moves, like I think of it as like a rat that's trapped and is trying to get out. It'll start freaking out. That's kind of how I see Trudeau. His mind is going all over the place. He can't even stay focused. He's talking about the vaccine passport. Like, he's just all over the place, but it's like fear. You guys, the unvaccinated, are going to be doing all of the damage in society. And so all of these messages are designed so he's panicking, but what he's throwing at us in that gibberish that he just gave us is everything at once. So they used to do one little message, very measured, very calm, very collected, just send out the message, get the feeler. Now they're like, oh, you have to do this, you have to, right? So anyways, we're going to keep listening just a little bit, because after this, I'm going to read to you a speech that Stalin gave in 1927, and you'll see the exact same the same language is being used. But this is what I mean. The full-on communism is here, guys. Okay, so here we go.
Countries, like Canada has just done, is going to open only to fully vaccinated travelers. These are the kinds of things that mean, you know, if that's going to be the reality in the fall, it just makes sense for people to get vaccinated now so that they're protected in the fall.
Okay, so they want you to do that now because this is my theory, and I have to tread carefully. Am I still even on YouTube? Yeah. Okay. Hey, Thought Drifter. Okay, so I know Banks. I'm sorry. Banks is going after me because I made him watch Trudeau. I hate it just as much as you do, Banks. We're in this one. Banks, you and I were in this together. But you can see here how they're also throwing in the crunch timeline. They're also going in right there saying, you have to get it now. You have to get it now. You may as well, like this is what you're saying. You may as well get it now. You're gonna have to get it eventually. You may as well do it now so you can travel. So they're kind of throwing everything at you in that one speech. And then like just gonna finish off one last moment of puke, guys. But look at that smirk on that face. That oh, it makes you just. Anyways, this is the face of a traitor. He's so proud of himself. Like, yeah. Anyways, okay. Enough of that guy. Okay, so we have the panic that's happening right now. They want you to get it now, and this is my theory why. I think a lot of people, like we saw in the chat today, and I have to be careful, a lot of the ones that did participate in the injection have had problems. They have mucho problema, whatever. I don't remember my Spanish. But it's coming out, and it's coming out fast. And they don't want people to know about that. So the idea is to get as many people now with the injection so that you don't realize what's going on out there. They just need to buy that extra little bit of time to try to get more people before you realize what's happening. Yeah, Trudeau. Yeah, Elizabeth, you're so right. Trudeau also recommends this. So it's horrific what they're doing to our kids. And I have 3 boys, and I think my 15 and 12-year-old, they're already being pushed by the school boards to get vaccinated. And I think the pressure will be on for them. Now, my 7-year-old, he is, I think he's going to be okay, but I think they're starting to get it to anybody who's 6 and above. So I'm actually very much in a position of mama bear at this point, where I'm trying to do my best to shield them against all of it. And it will be over my dead body that they'll have to. Okay. Yeah. Terry, where are you from? You feel bad for us, but you don't have to answer that. Sorry. I don't want to put you on the spot, but somebody said, I feel so bad for you guys in Canada. Let me show you that. And yeah, I appreciate that, Terry. We're screwed. We don't have enough people that are willing to speak up, and we're too spread out. It's not going to go well for Canada. And so what we're doing is the rest of us are trying to brace ourselves. I saw a meme this week that was really actually clever. And it said, it's no longer time to wake up the sheep. It's time to wake up the lions. So we're in that position in Canada. So Terry, you're USA. Okay, USA. I love the USA. I love your country so much. I would be such a great patriot. Like, you should take everybody from the Olympic that's turning their back on your country, kick him out, and bring somebody in like me, and we'll be like, USA. We'll love it. We'll be like singing the anthem, and oh man, like yeah. Anyways, okay. But I don't even remember what I was talking about. I am so horrible at this live streaming stuff. Okay. Beetle Eater, give me a second to pull up your thing here. I think you're saying something here that I want. Where are you? Oh my gosh, I'm so behind on these chats. Okay, just pop this up on the screen for you guys here. Grade 4 student talking about her, yeah, to fill out a form and not to tell the parents. Yes, I did see that. This is, and that was about critical race theory, so it wasn't about the vaccine, right? Beetle, I think it was critical race theory. If it's the same one, I saw it was a 9-year-old girl who was told not to tell her parents about the gender, when they asked her what gender and all that kind of stuff on her form, she was asked not to tell her parents about it. So yeah, it's I think it's the one. But yeah, if you want to find the name, I'll pop it up on the screen here, and then people can go in and look it up. Oh yeah, so yeah. Yeah, confirm that it's that 9-year-old girl. Yeah. So yeah, guys, you should go look that up if you haven't already. It's insane. And I'm, like, you guys know, I'm very close to my kids. My boys they're all mama boys, but I'm training them not to be mama's boys because I don't want their wives to hate me. I want their wives to like me. So so anyways, I'm very close to all 3 of my boys, and they already know that we don't want them to get vaccinated. And I had this discussion with them, and they're going to tell me. So I'm very lucky because they will tell me if there's anything that that happens like that in school. They'll be right here, and I'm going to tell you guys. I'm absolutely 100% going to tell you guys. I've already told you guys how they tried to push the BLM agenda on my kids last year, and I shared that on one of the videos I did. See, my dog's going at it again. I don't know maybe that peeping Tom is back. I'm telling you guys. it's the vaccine crew. How are they called in the States? They called it's like a really weird, the strike team. It's like a Call of Duty name, like the vaccine strike team. So anyways, my dogs are just going berserk in the front room. And we had a peeping Tom earlier in the stream for you guys who weren't there. There was legit somebody at my window. Anyways, okay. So yeah, it's just absolutely insane what's going on. My kids are going to let me know if there's anything like that. But we are preparing already for the homeschooling. So I fully expect that I will have to homeschool the kids while I keep working full time. So we're already preparing, my husband and I, to adapt easily to that eventuality, because I find if you're prepared for this kind of stuff, it doesn't bother you as much. We had a tough time for the last year because we were both working full time and had the 3 boys at home. It was very tough on us, and we were prepared, but not as much as we could be. So we're going to do a better job this time. But I expect my kids to not be in school because they're going to do some BS like this. We're going to force them to be vaccinated, force them to be separated if they're not. And I don't want to torture my kids that way in school. So anyways, yes, yeah, Philip, 100%. You have to prepare your kids before. I totally agree. And it's what we've been trying to do, is prepare the kids for this. My youngest, my 7-year-old, he's the most fiery of my children. They all have very vivid spirits. They're very, very, yeah, I used to call them the high-spirited children. But my youngest one is the absolute, and he is such a gem to be around. So much fun. All my kids are great, obviously. I'm going to say that. My kids are great. I love being a mom. But my youngest one, he's the most fiery one of them all. And he's going to grow up to be like the biggest alpha male. I can already tell. And he already says things like, "We are not going to let them put anything in our arms, Mom." Like, so I love his enthusiasm. And I really hope that more kids of that generation are like him, because nobody will be left. So it is only kids from that generation. But I hope that they are like that, so that they are the ones that are going to be reclaiming society from the commies that are currently taking over, because we are letting them. Sadly, we are letting them. So anyways, okay. What else do I have for you guys? The UK children are being forced to be vaccinated for September. I don't know if you saw that article. But I did want to go into very quickly. So you remember the words Trudeau just said? I'm not going to replay it again because that's going to be gross. Binks might quit. He might rage quit the stream if I do that again. So I'm just going to read to you guys a couple of the words. I won't read this whole page, just a few words from Stalin in a 1927 speech. This is a speech he did on the agrarian policy. So look, it looks nice and formal, but I'm going to read a part. So this speech is right at the time where he's announced the collectivization, which is we take all of the farms and we're going to group them together, expel all the families from them, and create these collective farms. So Stalin had two plans, the collectivization and then the industrialization. So this one is addressing the collectivization of the land. So basically the removal of private property. And this is the words of Stalin. And just for fun, I'm going to read the actual words he said. But this is how he starts his speech. The characteristic feature in the work of our party during the past year is that we, as a party, as the Soviet power, have developed an offensive along the whole front against the capitalist elements in the countryside. And B, that this offensive, as you know, has yielded and continues to yield very appreciable positive results. So what he's saying there is, we're going after the rich peasants and we're going to take their properties away. So the offensive is take their properties away, and going after the capitalist elements, those are the richer peasants, anybody with private property in the USSR at that point. Okay, so he says, what does this mean? It means we have passed from the policy of restricting the exploiting tendencies of the kulaks are rich peasants with private property, to the policy of eliminating the kulaks as a class. So before this speech, they had a policy enacted through the Soviet party that was restricting the exploiting tendencies of the kulaks. So that means what they meant by exploiting meant the kulaks had a cow, they had a farm, and they were producing grain. And that was the exploiting. And they refused to give us their cow and their house when we politely asked them to. So now they are going to the policy of eliminating the kulaks as a class. So just to situate you onto where we are in the communist Canada. So this was 1927, Soviet Russia. In Canada, we're at the part where we are at the policy of restricting the unvaxxed. And if we continue down this path, we will go to the policy of eliminating the unvaxxed. So either eliminating them by turning them into a vaxxed person, or eliminating them by eliminating them. So honestly, this is what Trudeau is saying to us in his speech. I played the speech for you. The language Trudeau is using is 100% on par with the language Stalin used in 1927. So right now, Trudeau's telling us we must get these unvaccinated people vaxxed as soon as possible. So they're in and they're restricting. We saw through the restaurants, we saw through the schools, we saw through the travel. So we're restricting the tendencies of the unvaxxed, and potentially we will move into the eliminating. Just going to read one more paragraph. What is the position now? Today, this is the paragraph I'm reading. Today, we have an adequate material base for us to strike at the kulaks. So that means before they didn't. To break, I'll read this, then I'll comment. To break their resistance, to eliminate them as a class, and to replace their output by the output of the collective farms and state farms. You know that in 1929, the grain produced on the collective farm and state farm amounts not to less than 400 million poods. Not exactly sure what measure that is. You also know that in 1929, the collective farms and state farms have supplied more than 130 million of marketable grain. Lastly, you know that in the 30s, the gross grain output of the collective farms and state farm will amount to no less than 900 million. And their output of marketable grain will be not less than 400 million poods. So these are projections into the future. So just like they're saying, the Delta variant will be the disease of the unvaccinated. They're projecting that. They don't know for sure. They're projecting. They think that's what's going to happen. Stalin is in a position now where he's saying, We can strike at them, we can break them, we can eliminate them, because we have the idea that the output we're going to have for grain is going to be far greater than what the kulaks are producing today in 1927. So this is how matters stands with us now, comrades. This is the change that has to take place in the economy of our country. So this is exact same thing. We are yet again in the same scenario that the Russians found themselves in 1927 when Stalin gave his speech. So you see this kind of thing, this kind of message is coming out from Biden. It's coming out from Trudeau here in Canada. It's coming out from whoever that witch is that's the head of New Zealand. The Prime Minister of Australia is doing the same thing. Emmanuel Macron in France, same thing. Greece. All of these heads of states are saying this when they say the pandemic is the pandemic of the unvaxxed. That means right now they're in the phase of restricting tendencies of the unvaxxed via either the carrot or the stick, right? So either we give you, if you get your vaccination, we're going to give you money, we're going to give you a lottery, we're going to give you a scholarship. But if you don't, we're going to go ahead and prevent you from traveling, entering restaurants, bars. You can't go to public places. You can't go to concerts, nothing. You're going to be stuck in your home. So they're doing that. And this is they're going after the restriction of tendencies. And I'm telling you guys, the next step after this is the elimination of the unvaxxed as a class. It's the natural progression. It's been done before. We've seen it in all Soviet communist countries that have taken form. Cuba went through the same thing, Venezuela more recently. And now Canada, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the people like me who've been trying to warn other people. I'm really sorry, guys, that this is what we're facing. And it pains me to see my country go from this wonderful place that I grew up in, where I knew freedom, and now going to this. It really pains me. But you know what? I feel no sympathy for the sheep who are going to wake up. I'm sorry, you guys, but you did this to us. We are now stuck in a communist country because you allowed this to happen. We all tried to fight, but the people who went ahead and did it, people who went along with this whole idea for as long as now, despite all this information available, I really can't understand it. So anyways, okay. What else do I have? Oh, this is one last one that resonated with me because I heard, and there's a couple people from the States in the chat. I don't know if this is really going to go ahead or if this is kind of just a thing for now, but I heard that they're restricting the selling of the alien type computers in the US in certain states like California. Is this true? I don't know if this was like a real thing or if it's just like weird BS coming out again. But I heard like states like California are going to restrict the so this is Alienware is like a super powerful computer for gaming. And it's funny because I have one. I asked my husband before this, I'm like, don't we have one of those computers that they're talking about banning the sale in California? And I'm like, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, what kind do we have? So we have the Alien, my husband knew this, Alienware i90 10900. We have that. So I'm thinking this is insane. So now like these climate alarmists are going after things that they deem unnecessary. And this is just another thing where it's like, okay, first they restrict, then they go after it. So then they're going to come and take our computers if we don't behave, or just because in the name of climate, they're going to take, that's going to make the gaming community rise up. Oh, Joe is in California. He attests to the truth that I speak tonight about the alien computers. So anyways, it's just insane. I don't even know what to say anymore. Just lunacy is it's just getting out of control, but they're hitting us at every level. I knew this climate alarmism was going to come back with a vengeance in the midst of the pandemic, because they have to hit us on all fronts. They have to just break us down. And by the way, I know some people that have taken the vaccine purely because they want to travel. And I'm sorry to say this, but in the name of climate science, I don't think you will be allowed to travel. There's like, between the economic crash that's going to happen soon, so the hyperinflation we're going to see, where we're going to have to spend so much money just on essentials like food, you won't have that extra money to go and travel. Not to mention the fact that you won't be, they won't let you travel because of climate change. And this is what I mean. It's to take something like that in your body, to take an injection because you want something that you may not have. Like, why not just hold off? So anyways, if I guess my message is, if you are someone who happens to catch this stream, you are thinking about getting it because you're being worn down because you want to travel, just hold off. Like, hold off for a little bit longer. That would be my recommendation, because I honestly think they're going to say nobody's going to travel soon. It's not going to happen, not only for financial, but also for the reason that it's just, they've told you to stay in your home and you did it. So when they tell you to not travel, you're probably going to do that too. So anyways, Concan is here. Hello, Concan. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, they're going after gamers. I wasn't happy about that. So, okay, guys, in the description of my live streams now, I've started putting all of the alternate media that I'm on, just in case I get swiftly removed from these two main platforms that I'm on right now. But so you can find it there. A lot of people have been asking me where are my other social media things. So they're all in the description now. I wanted to end this stream on a bit of a nicer note. A lot of people have been asking me about my garden. I think you've also been asking me about my dogs. Somebody wanted to see my dogs. I don't know if that person is still in the stream. I think a few people have seen my dogs before. Hey, Crit, you're in the chat too. Hello. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. Hold on. Hey, Jer here has a really good point. They're prepping us for the shortages. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You're not traveling. So anyways, think about what you want to do in the name of sacrificing your body for something you may not even get. Ooh. Somebody put Rumble is, I'm not sure what LZ means, but I am on Rumble. It's just like at Julie Moore. I can't remember. They're all different, slightly different, but I am on there. So yeah, I'm on Rumble. Oh, and okay, if you guys want to have a lot of fun in your life and be scared or get the proper information, whatever, however you want to frame it, you really should go on BitChute. I don't know if a lot of you are on, like, just browsing that platform, but it's really awesome because all the people that have been kicked off of YouTube that have bigger platforms, and even some smaller content creators that are out there that are managing to get stuff on there that is not being banned, it's just so amazing. To just go on BitChute. It's an amazing platform. It's still like growing pains on that platform. So for example, if you click from your phone on, just to go back to the main area in BitChute, so you can see the newer videos that have been posted, and you click on a video, it'll take you down to the comments. For some reason, you have to scroll back up. So just a couple of things like that, but go and play with it, because the content you will get from BitChute is so amazing. You'll see stuff that is nowhere on the mainstream media. So it might, and I know, yeah, Crit, a lot of us are on BitChute. Yeah, a lot of us are on BitChute. And you're right, it is hard to upload, but there's a lot of, yeah, the content. If you can get past the growing pains of that platform, the content is really good. And even some small, tiny creators, like with 10 10 followers, the content is really, really good. And it's mostly because it's not banned. You can see stuff that you would never see. Yeah, lots of info on BitChute. I'm just reading the comments here. Some people are saying lots of KV Hups, lots of info on BitChute. Hard to search. It is hard to search. You have to go, yeah, it's hard to search. It's hard to find people on there as content creators that you know. But anyways, okay. So, okay. One last thing for you guys. I'm going to show you my garden. So if you're not interested, totally understand. But a lot of people have been asking me how my garden's doing. I was telling you last week that the zucchini plant is the king. He is the zucchini overlord. He took over everything. A bad boy. I'm going to tell you that right now. That is a bad boy. I'm going to show him to you. 1 second here. Everything is slow tonight. I'm back on to the red here. So hoping you can still see. Oh yeah, I forgot that I can't double click. That's why. Okay, so here, I don't know if this is, let me try to zoom in. They're gonna zoom in. So that kind of doesn't really do it justice, but just to give you an idea, on this side here is a tomato plant. So you can gauge based on the size of the tomato leaves here. But look at this guy. He gives me the biggest zucchinis, but he killed everyone around him. I think he killed my asparagus that I've been growing for 2 years. I think he killed all of my onions. I have a bunch of onions underneath on this side. Dude took all their sun. So this guy is like, I'm here, boys, and this is my town. So he basically took over. So I know next year, I'm learning, guys. Next year, that guy, zucchinis, are going to go, I'm going to just give them that whole area back there. There's going to be no more sharing is caring. I get it. The zucchini has made a statement. He wants to be by himself and take over. So this is one picture. I'm going to show you a couple more. Here I have, so this is my smaller plant area. So this is the planter boxes that my husband built for me 2 years ago, and we've been planting stuff in here. So I have a couple of tomatoes, like smaller tomatoes. I do the companion planting with all the flowers in between. So the birds, the bees, and the butterflies are all happy. Legit what I'm doing. And here we go. So a couple of things in there. So that's a fun one. And a couple more just to show you the tomatoes that are coming, because at least now the tomatoes are starting to go red on me. This is really small. Okay, so terrible image quality here. But you can see the tomatoes coming through as well with their companion flowers back here. And this little guy here is he's actually a really big guy. He is a pumpkin. And I didn't realize that those guys also grow super massively huge. So we basically gave him the alleyway where I'm supposed to walk and go take care of the rest of the vegetables. We're like, okay, he kind of like did an invasion. And he said, this is my space now. And we're like, okay, dude, you can take it. I can't go in there anymore. So it's kind of hard to garden, but I've learned my lesson, and we're going to have to just expand. It looks like we're expanding for next year to have more zucchini room, more pumpkin room. So anyways, that's pretty much my garden. So everything is doing super well. Oh, I'm just last one, I promise you. Last one. Gonna go into a zoom here. This was to show you how tall this one is. So this is my little tomatoes, and they are super massively tall at this point. I can't trim anything at the top there without a ladder, so I just don't. And it's kind of having all sorts of weird offshoots at the top. So that's a bit of a science project in itself. But yeah. So that has been my garden this year. It's doing super well. I was able to make a few meals where it was purely harvested from the garden. So super exciting. And we are doing this because we are trying to be as self-sufficient as we can. So we're doing all of the learning and mistakes while food is available around us, so that if it ever comes to a scenario where the commies took over and we're in hiding and I have to grow stuff, I'm going to have to do it. And I'm going to have to come with the knowledge that I am gaining right now. So anyways, that is pretty much it. Just gonna take a quick look. Oh, Manny, you're late, but you are welcome, even though you are late. I see you're over there on DLive. Big shout out to the DLive crew over there. I'm gonna try to start streaming on Rumble as soon as I can, guys. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully we can get a few of you guys over there. But yeah, this is it. This is my life. Yeah, the garbage. The garbage is taking itself out by getting injected. And it's so sad because when you agree that, like, I don't know if you guys are in this situation, but we have a lot of friends and family who decided to go along with this. And I don't know what to say. Like, we're getting ready for the mass downfall this is going to produce. So yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But anyways, okay. So this is it for me, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I will see you guys next week where we will do another semi-depressing stream about the state of communism in Canada. Cheers to you all. Go get started on that vodka so we can drink our way silly into this communist world we're in. Love you all. Thank you for all your comments, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.